These are the common traits. They're the same for Bolt as they are for Skelly. So they're all season 0. Well, this is the Skelly Vonder collection drop. Min type 1 of 1, and head shape is classic. As for the poses, so there's 9 poses as you see them here. There's probabilities here, so that is the latest batch that we kind of ran, which isn't necessarily like finalized official numbers of these traits, but I don't intend to change them unless there's a bug. So it'll be something like these probabilities of getting each of the traits. So as you can see here, there's finger hearts, which is sort of like the Korean finger heart hand symbol. Yes, DS Ooze, that is Dr. Evil. Bunch of different memes made the cut in here, as well as some kind of Skelly specific ones like Creeper and Zombie. Pretty straightforward here, but you also get a preview of all the different features that are coming. And definitely chime in, you guys, if you have any like feedback or questions.
I have one comment. So with Bolt, do you recall how many poses there were?
I feel like there were 6, but that's just off the top of my head.
Because I know, so I kind of came into the team, I think, partly while they were working through some of this stuff, but I know they worked really, really hard on adding these poses and like thinking through the different cool poses to have. But sweet.
Yeah, this is definitely more poses, and we didn't really reuse Bolt poses. The Rock On is kind of similar to a Bolt one, but I think it's a bit different. We will probably reuse some poses in the future. I think it's like good to always have callbacks to the past. But yeah, we're still trying to build out different poses that we can put Vi in, and we'll probably always introduce some unique ones for each Vi that we're selling. So yeah, moving on. So for outfits, so there's a lot of ones that don't have outfits. That's why the probabilities don't add up to 100%. But for the ones that do, so there's 2 different shirts. There's the Night Out shirt, which is a little black shirt, and the White Collar Crime shirt, lovingly named by the moderator Ryan himself, which looks great, especially against this kind of concrete lineup kind of background. There's hoodies. Hoodies can be up or down. You'll see some as we go throughout the deck. And then there's a skeleton costume, which looks a lot like the other skeletons. It just sort of has sleeves that end, and then you have kind of your basic body underneath. So the black shirt is currently the rarest, and the hoodie the most common, but you know there are different types of hoodies too, so that can make things interesting. Backgrounds. So kind of like with Bolt, there's solid background and gradient background, but we have a couple new ones. So concrete, and there are variations of this as well. This is just one example. Toxic, I really love. I think that's my favorite. Kind of this, I don't know, moldy acid version of a background. And then Moon Phase, which I think is the rarest yet. Which a lot of people love. I think it looks really good for some of the combinations of the colors of Vi and the background. You can really hit it just right. Yeah. And there's 8 base colors. So you kind of see gold there. So that's actually gold on gold. You don't always need gold bones on top of a gold base color. Same with silver. Then there's a dark base color. Which is actually like a subtle gradient, and there's like different patterns of gradient. It's kind of interesting if you look at all the variations. But they're all kind of very dark purple and black. Multicolored is basically kind of like a gradient between 2 colors. Sometimes it's very different though, like the head can be totally bright colored instead of the gradient, and the arms might be a different color. Blue, green, purple are pretty straightforward. You see a nice kind of color variant on the purple where the top of his head is really light. I really like the gradients that our artist used. And then warm is sort of like these browny orange tones, kind of purpley as well sometimes. So they're kind of like a nice mix in between different colors. So the rarest there is definitely the metallics. with gold being a little more rare than silver. And dark being common just because there's a bunch of different sort of like branches of our tree that uses dark. So like a lot of hoodies are dark, and then you can also have metallic bones with a dark background as well, so it looks good.
Hey, real quick, so for the new folks who have joined, Eli up at the top is streaming. So if you click on his name, you'll be able to watch the stream. We're going through the Skelly Rarity traits with the mint opening up tomorrow for current NFT holders.
Cool. Yeah, and I guess here you see on silver, there's that other concrete background. I'll kind of call out some of the variants as we see them here. There's the different toxic background behind the blue one right now. So yeah, even within a category, there's lots of different variants that are pretty cool and lead to like definitely a unique vibe. So yeah, I think that's it for base color. Moving on, hopefully. Skulls. So I think Skulls has among the most different traits. You can see there's standard and shattered. So shattered has a lot just because it's kind of one of the main forks off in our tree. You can have different shattered designs as well. So that's why that's most common. There's some very unique traits in here, like Third Eye and Neanderthal and Cyclops are all under 2% lobotomized as well. I think lobotomized is great with a little brain sticking out. Yeah, some of these are a little more subtle, like the lidded one. There it looks nice. I kind of picked out the ones that kind of most reveal the trait that I'm talking about. So those little gray bars above his eyes are the lidded indicator, which look really good here. Sometimes they can kind of blend in with the bone color. Sometimes they look great. Yeah, there's a bunch of fun ones. I like wonky. If you get some of these, they can like exclusively inherit a trait, like some of the infestation traits that you guys have seen. Like those can only be on like wonky or standard skulls. So that kind of helps make them more rare in combination with other traits. So even if these are common, they can still look really cool once they get some of the additional traits. Another thing to call out is that there's like a general like stroke versus non-stroked version of all the artwork here. So on Sharp Teeth, you can see that there's just a lot of strokes around the skull, whereas like right next to him on Cheerful, there's like no strokes whatsoever. So I think that's like an interesting thing that the artist kind of just ran with. There's also glowing bones, which I'll get to later. But that's the ones that are up in like Shattered and Third Eye, which I think just look really amazing. So yeah, I think that's it to call out, at least here. I don't know if anyone had any questions so far.
I guess I have a comment. And I've said this to a couple members, but I think the secondary for Skelly is going to be very active.
Hopefully. No predictions, but we're hoping because yeah, I think it's definitely a huge leap forward over Bolt as well, and we hope to keep making more leaps forward as well.
Yeah.
We have a lot more variants here, and they should be a lot more unique. I've worked really hard. There's like you can make it so that if a Vi is only different in like the eyes, that we don't allow that, so that everything needs more than just eyes being different, stuff like that. So that can really help these look just so different from each other, which really cuts into like the different probabilities of things that we can produce. But it's definitely worth it because this looks so much better than Bolt even, and I thought Bolt looked great. So yeah, I think that's sort of it for skulls. Juvenile skull is kind of more subtle. It's smaller if you look at it, but I think it's pretty cute. And in hoods, it can look really amazing. I'll call that out in a future one that I included. Next. So bones. In addition to like the strokes around the bones or not, there's also just it can be unbroken or shattered. I think my favorite of all of the Skellies that I've seen is actually shattered. Just you get the right color combination, I think it's great. And yeah, I think shattered ones always have a shattered skull, so that's another thing to keep watch out for. Um, but yeah, I like them. They're a bit messier than the unbroken kind, but they're both super high probabilities. You're gonna get one or the other, um, and definitely I'd be happy with either of those. Bone color. Some of these are really fun and some are more subtle. So like pastel is pretty subtle, but I love how it matches the art. So it's just a lighter version of whatever your base color is. So it's going to be blue here. Pretty high probability on getting pastel bones. Natural bones are just regular white. As you can see there, high probability as well. Makes sense. Most skeletons have white bones. And then we get into some crazy combinations. So there's like rainbow bones. That's on a dark body. It also comes on metallic bodies and it looks really great. Then you can get metallic bones, of course. Gold and silver, both under 4%. Those look really great on dark body, which you see here. And on a gold or silver body, I think they look even better. Painted bones, I think, are maybe the most unique bones. And also the rarest, yeah. That one I actually posted in our work Slack because I thought it just looked amazing. It looked like stained glass or something. We do have metallics this time, and the metallic crown kind of matched well with the texture on that painted one. There's lots of cool ones that are kind of inspired by like Dia de los Muertos culture, or Coco, if you've seen the movie. Yeah, then there's some glow-in-the-dark bones. These don't actually glow. That'd be too much tech for our game. But they do kind of reproduce that color, and they look good. And then glowing bones. Glowing bones might be the coolest bones, I would say. I love in the hoodie how you can kind of just looks like it's dark under there, and there's just like a skull floating in the middle of the hoodie. So I think those are really neat ones.
Pretty badass. Conrad had a question. He said, when we mint, is there a guarantee for a rarity part? Well, Eli, you could probably take that one.
Oh, you mean me?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, I always call myself Elyabj.
That's just so much to say.
I'm like Eli.
Like, who the hell is Eli?
Yeah, I guess like, are you guaranteed that like any of these that you'll get like a rare trait for any of these?
Yeah, I guess so. To answer your question, Conrad, so when you go ahead and mint, these are one of one, and there will only ever be 2,500 of them minted, and so there's a different probability that's going to go ahead and pull from all these different traits that we're showing. And so it's kind of like opening up, like a present. You're not entirely sure what you're going to get, but, there are chances to go ahead and mint some of the rare Skellys. Did I hit that okay, yeah. Eli Elobja?
Yeah, I'd say like it's totally random what features you will get, and that's kind of a good thing, right?
Yep.
You don't want us to be like rigging it behind the scenes in any way, and it can lead to like some super rare vi, as well as some more common ones, which can be rough. But I also think that like even the most common one looks great. Like that pastel one up there is probably pretty common, but I think it's still like a beautiful piece of art.
So we have another question from Paxmark. It said, "Are these handcrafted?" Yeah, so you probably know a little bit more about what that process looked like to actually create the art behind these.
Yeah. So yeah, we basically have an artist who has created all these layers by hand. And she is a very great technical artist and smart enough to put this all together so that all the like different features work well together. Because layering the eyes behind certain skulls and in front of others at different times, it's very complicated. But she did that. She made a really great diagram for me to follow of just like how that should be set up data-wise so that engineer can put it together. The only thing I'd say is like not handcrafted is she didn't really color anything. She picked out the colors. So when we say like, oh, this one gets, pastel bones, it's going to pull from a list of different colors that she's kind of chosen that'll look good. Or it can be like tied to the underlying skin layer, things like that. But she definitely like put a lot of thought into that system. So she makes sure that everything looks good in combination with each other. So yeah, we recolor things programmatically, but it all uses things that she tells us what we should be pulling from. So yeah, I think it works really well.
Love it.
Yeah. Let's see.
That gold zombie with the moon phase background is gorgeous, and I really like the painted with the. Is that the toxic background?
The painted. Yeah, that's a red toxic background.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I think those look great. Yeah.
And now you mentioned too the one, sorry, with the hoodie where it's just kind of like it's got like that MF Doom vibe of like you're just he's sitting there with like in the shadows and you just have the mask showing. It's very cool.
Yeah, I tried to pull that one specifically because I just love those ones that look like they're floating in there. Yeah, and I think some of the moon phases look just absolutely bonkers amazing. And some I'm like, yeah, I'd prefer the toxic or something. It depends on what Vi is in front of it. But definitely like, different people like different things. Sometimes the solid backgrounds can honestly be amazing, depending on what goes in front of it.
Yeah, because like for some instances it looks really cool to be like cartoony, and some instances it looks really cool to be almost photorealistic, right? So
yeah, like the natural one here is a little cartoony, and I love that. And like I never like painted bones really. It's just like not my jam, but like this one is one of my favorite of all the Skellys I've seen. I'm just like, damn, that's amazing combination of like dark background and like floral, kind of more feminine traits. I love it.
So you guys heard it here first. If you meant that, painted toxic background Skelly, Eloja Buja will pay you 1 full ETH for it. Just let you know.
Well, I'm holding Alabaja up on that.
Ryan said it, so you have to hold him up on that. Yeah,
that's easier to hold up on then.
Yeah, he's in here more often. Yeah, and Gandalf. So the official Vi page, I'd say that is a bit out of date, but it's basically in the right direction. There are a bunch of different base colors. I think there's more than 10 eyes. I think there's more than 10 skulls. Backgrounds, there's probably fewer background types, but there's plenty of different background colors. So once you take into account, like, these are kind of categories, and then there's variations of each of these, right? Like, right here, there's the moon phases, and there's 2 right here. So yeah, that's sort of how I've been thinking about it. But yeah, we don't have a final like count up on the website, but it should be even higher than that count. So there will be more like rarity inside of those categories, which I think is a good thing. Let me go to the next page. Head decorations. I think these are some of the best kind of traits that we have. And some of the rarest, which is kind of hard, but I find really exciting. So the infestation category, we are calling it infestation, not infection. Just because it is kind of more appropriate, right? Like you have to get infested with worms and infested with vines and other things. So yeah, we have 3 infestations: worms, snakes, and vines. Sorry that these aren't grouped together, but I just did this morning. But those are all really rare traits. Honestly, I tried to increase the probability of some of these, and it's just so hard when there's so many conditionals and everything and all our different traits going on. So these are really rare, right? Like if you get a vine, there might only be a handful of them. Like, It's all probability based, so it depends on what we run. But in our test ones, we've gotten like just 3 vine heads at a time. So definitely look forward to that if you get that. I think the worm infestation is my personal favorite. Snake is cool as well. I love that the top of the snake kind of matches the skin of the vi underneath. Then there's some like more kind of normal traits that are more common, like a bandage. This actually shows a bandage on the hand as well, which is actually a body decoration. But there's a bandage head decoration that you see on the top there. Little stitches on the skull. There can be different stickers. There's a couple different options there. This one has like a Vi sticker and like a star on the side. There's some other ones that I think you'll see more of later on. I really like the metal plate actually. It's simple, but it is like reflective in game, which looks really good. And then horns. Horns, honestly, like kind of feel like it should have been part of the skulls, but due to how our system's set up, it counts as a decoration because it's just kind of plopped on top of kind of the sharpened, daggery teeth skull. There's a question, is there one with vine infestation and painted bones? I don't know. We don't know what we're going to get. I think we minted the final batch on our side. But we'll have to see what actually comes out. Probably not, because those are very rare traits. But it's definitely possible, I believe. Yeah. There's a very, very complex conditional tree, and some things are not possible, but I believe that combination at least is possible. So that'd be awesome if that turns out. Body decorations. So you can see there's some infestations again. Snake doesn't have a body infestation. Just worms and vines do. You could get like worm body and head infestation, which you see there. Same with vine. That's possible as well, which looks really awesome. Metal plates on the body. There's a lot more metal plates when you have it on the body decoration. And those are just cool because they're reflective. Then there's bandages. There can be different types there. You saw one in the last slide on its right arm, and this one's on its left arm. And then stickers, just different stickers that are on the body. There's a couple different patterns of that as well. That one has a broken heart, and there's actually more decals. That's a separate trait that also has some hearts. So you can look forward to that. Yeah, and just here the infestations are really rare again. So yeah, I'd say those are probably going to be the most sought after because I think they look the best and they're rare. So yeah, as far as eyes go, there's 12 different eyes. Probably won't go through all these just because there's so many. In terms of rare ones, so there's the sapphire eye. That's nice. It actually sits in front of the skull, unlike most eyes. Same with death eye, which is a little sparkle. And then there's cyclops. Cyclops is rare just because the cyclops skull is also rare. And then if you get a cyclops skull, you might not have an eye at all. That's an option. So this, I hope, doesn't add up to 100%. Because yeah, you might not get any eyes. Which can actually be nice because that could be a pretty rare trait. Yeah, then there's some other cool ones. So there's kind of regular eyes that are kind of like regular eye colored. And then there's glowy eyes like you see in like Third Eye or One-Eyed Happy. So yeah, there's some nice variation going on there. Third Eye is also super rare because that skull is super rare. Yeah, I like it. No eye game. Yeah, I think that's about it for eyes. Go to the next slide. There's one shoe, just because both had shoes. We gave the costume some shoes as well. The great thing here is that the shoes actually match the skin color. So he gets little purple and pink shoes. And that's every costumed Vi, I believe, has it. So there's about 12% of just costumed Vi in the game. But yeah, I think it's a cute little detail. And I love that it matches as well. There's some masks. So if you have a costume buy, there's a chance that you have a mask. In which case you don't have a skull or anything else. But it can come in white or glow in the dark. And those are pretty rare as well, just because there's not a lot of costume buy and even fewer ones with masks. So it can be a fun kind of branch on the tree as well of all the different traits. Then themes. So I could only get 2 themes kind of set up for you guys. I wanted to add some more gangs for you guys to do some turf battles over. But we could just get hoodie gang going up. So hoodies either up or down get the hoodie gang theme, and then anything with a crown gets the aristocrat gang theme as well. So you can see there's a lot of hoodies in the game in general, and that 24% of them get it, and fewer crowns because just like under 13% of people get it. 3-eyed hoodie, yeah, it's definitely possible. I think those look real good. Yeah, I think that's it for the hoodie. There's tons of different variations in the hoodie, actually. I could go deep onto hoodies. But there's sort of these ones with like stitches around the head and at the bottom of the hood and kind of gradients on the pockets. And then there's other ones that are just more black, if I can find one of those. Yeah, like here with Third Eye. There's kind of black hoodies. Yeah, some fun variations there. Oh, I missed one. I missed this decal trait. So decal, so that's just some hearts that can either be inside the chest and kind of glow and are a brighter shade of the skin, or they can be on top of the chest. They also match the skin as well. But I thought that was kind of just a fun random thing. And we minted out. I hope so, Ryan. I hope so. Hats. So there's just 2 hats. Hoodies don't count as a hat. There's silver crown or gold crown. They are shiny in the game, which is really cool. They also kind of have this like polished look on them. Probably you guys can't see on this little preview, but yeah, there's like little lines that look like it's actually kind of like scratched or something. So I think it looks great in game. Same with the bones on the Vi itself. And here you actually see, so on the left there's the dark skin with gold bones, and on the right it's silver skin with rainbow bones. There's even a couple types of rainbow bones. I think that's like the lighter one. There's more like saturated ones, which you might have seen. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Silver crown is a little more common than gold, but honestly they're both pretty rare. I think that was it. Oh, glasses. Sorry, my presentation's jumping around. There are some glasses going on. This says striped sneaker. Sorry about that typo. But yeah, they're fairly common eye decorations. If you have glasses, you don't get eyes underneath, which I think is fine. It looks better this way. Yeah, just cool little silver glasses. I think they're always kind of look like that. And that's it. Then I just wanted to show you guys some of the work that goes into this process. So this is actually the tree that our artist made. So she's working through all these designs and kind of layering things. She figures out all these different branches of like, oh, if you have shattered bones, you can only get certain skulls. If you have stroked bones, you get different skulls. And depending on that, you might get like cyclops or vines. Then you can get certain eyes and certain bandages or body decorations, and then hoods and crowns and shirts. So there's actually like 5 of these. So these are all sort of different branching paths, and that's why like you won't see like an infested metallic vibe, for example, is that it's just like not compatible from an art standpoint, or just didn't look good when we made it. So yeah, just kind of wanted to show off what our artist does, and then I take this and put it into just like a Google spreadsheet, and our engineer can kind of read from that and create the vibe and properly layer them and everything. So yeah, there's a lot of work that our artist does to kind of set this up for me to read and set up, and that kind of determines all the traits that are possible. And then our engineer just kind of runs a random number. There's like 2 million combinations of traits after all this. And I cut some down on some of those to make them look better, right? We don't want ones that like look very similar to each other. And I think like Skelly looks a lot more different between different Skellys than even Bolt did. And I want to keep kind of pushing that difference because I think it's really cool. Yeah, and that's kind of why we have these trees.
So
yeah.
I'm gonna throw a comment out there. And I feel like it's not bragging if it's true. So just like preemptively saying that. Like our project, like the quality behind our project, like we're not some one-on-one profile pick where they went and they gave like $500 to somebody on Fiverr to make like janky arms and janky legs and charge you like 0.03 ETH for it. Like these are handcrafted and like the thought process behind them. I mean, honestly, I didn't see one that I personally wouldn't be happy minting. So I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'd agree with it. That like all of these are really cool, and some of these are pretty common. But I'd be happy with any of the ones like you see right now.
Somebody said how many hours left for mint? Let's see, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
18 hours or something?
Yeah. 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Everyone who owns a Bolt NFT right now, you're gonna have access to the OG sale. You'll be able to mint your NFTs before the public. You'll be able to mint as many Skellys as you'd like. And on top of that, you're also getting a discount to mint your Skelly. And all this information and more is included in the channel that I made called Vi Holder Guide under Mint FAQ. If someone could type that in chat for me, that'd be great. I'm recording this, so I can't hop over to that screen. But yeah. So tomorrow is your day if you're a founder. And if you don't own a Bolt and you want to get access to the OG sale and some of those perks, you can buy a Bolt on the secondary, and that'll go ahead and get you the ticket to mint tomorrow. Thanks, Mouse.
Can you
Appreciate it.
explain to some people what that secondary means, because if they aren't already a founder, it might be important to them to understand what that secondary is and exactly how to get there.
Yeah. So a secondary market is where somebody minted bolts, which was our first NFT drop, and now they've listed them for sale. So it's a secondary market, right? Mint was the first market. This is the secondary market. So there's a handful of links, which again, sorry, Mouse, if you don't mind, if you go to official links, there's 3 different marketplaces where you can buy secondary bolts right now: Immutable X, Token Trove, and then I think IMX Rarity is the other one. But yeah. And then we had some other questions. Oh man, this thing's going. Okay, we have a bunch of questions here. What we got? Ben. So for Pablo P. So for snapshot for airdrop is 9 out. Yeah. So, for Bolt NFTs, we've conducted 2 snapshots. And there's 2 to go. So we're going to conduct the third one about 9 hours after the Founder Mint opens on Skelly. And then the 4th snapshot will be in celebration of our Play to Earn going live. And those snapshots will be used to airdrop rewards later this summer for everyone who owns a Bolt. And then in addition to that, if you mint a Skelly, you're also going to have your wallet snapshotted a total of 4 times leading up to reward generation and have those airdrop to you as well. Any other questions? Am I missing anything important here? Hey, thank you. Appreciate those links, Mouse, DS. Thank you very much. All right. Hello. Okay, wait. I'm gonna crush it this time. Okay, hold on. Man.
I just say Eliabj.
Eliabj, come on, man.
But it's not even like it's not even pronounced the way it reads. It's Eli OBJ.
No, it's like L, like Spanish. You know?
Yeah, come on.
Eliabj.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easier. Eliabj. It just had to click, and it finally did. That's great.
I'll answer you now when you say my name. I'm like, who's Eli? This Eli guy.
No, I will never be embarrassed again. I'm telling you, I'm gonna remember this. I've already forgotten. Fuck.
Just remember Spanish.
Eliabj. Let's move on. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Oh, I know one thing. So some folks have been asking about the whitelist process. So we have anyone who owns our NFT will be able to mint tomorrow. But if you don't own one of our NFTs, you can still go ahead and mint Skellies. Our whitelist is collecting right now. So if you play our game, there's a pop-up that'll appear that'll ask you for your Discord and wallet information. And we have APIs in the back end that are pulling that form every hour. But then if you go to our official website, viaworlds.com, it'll show you are registered for the whitelist after it asks you connect your wallet. So if you want to get on the whitelist, which in itself has some extra perks and rewards, which again are listed in the specific channel that I made earlier called Whitelist Guide underneath Mint FAQ. You can still go ahead and do that just by playing our game, filling out that form. Ame, any exact date, week for play to earn in June? Trying to shill the game to my play to earn friends here. Yeah, so there is not an exact date or time. As it goes with these things, like there's a lot of moving variables and a lot of hands kind of have to go into the pot to make it work. But we are feeling pretty comfortable on June. So stay tuned for June. All right, what other questions we got, guys? Gals? Oh, I have another comment. I'm so sorry. So if you do in fact own a Bolt NFT, either you already have it or you go to the secondary and you buy one, and then you go ahead and you mint a Skelly, there's going to be some special rewards associated with that. One, when our play to earn goes live, you're going to earn a 25% XP bonus from in-game activities. And though that XP will be pretty well tightly tied to rewards this summer. And then in addition to that, for every Bolt and Skelly pair that you own, we're going to airdrop a weapon NFT. And I think that has the chance to be probably one of the rarest NFT drops from season 0. So, yeah. A lot to be excited about. Any other questions? Why are you guys asking me for dates? Is there a date for Shooter Turf Wars? Come on, Conrad. Hopefully, yeah, this summer.
Lol.
Stay tuned. Is the weapon NFT for Skelly Mentors only, or can you buy Skelly on secondary and still get weapon? I don't know. I think the original vision behind that was minting. So you have bolts in your wallet, and then you mint a Skelly. We take snapshots. We use Snapshot for that NFT airdrop. Let me have that as a takeaway. I'll confirm with the team, and then I can post that. Let's see who asked that question. Was that Pablo? Or was that Xmark? Somebody. No, that was Mouse. Yeah. Let me Mouse, let me ask that question to the team, and I'll circle back to you on that one. Let's see, man. Lots more questions here.
When will we have a dodgeball mode so we can throw dodgeballs at Mouse? Thank you.
So we had a basketball mode, but it kept breaking the server. Something to do with the physics of a ball, which is like,
as long as we can just put Mouse in one location and then just all throw a dodgeball or a basketball at him for a second and then crash the server, I'll be excited.
okay. All right. Hopefully soon. Let's see what we got. LaRage. No bolt, no weapon NFT, right? Yeah, so you have to have a bolt and a Skelly pair in order to get the weapon NFT. Well, let me rephrase. So like there will be weapons, right? Because we're gonna have a shooter mode and people need weapons in order to fight each other, right? But like the special decal artwork, one like hand paint, like all that will only be for folks who have those pairs. What else we got? Yep, Paxmark hit that. Yeah, cool. And that's a good call out too. So these will just be cooler, like badass looking weapons. But they won't be better weapons, meaning like they won't do more damage. Like we don't want to create an environment where it's like pay to win, right? Ame, Skelly mentors. Yeah, so Skelly, if you go ahead, you mint a Skelly, you will get the Vounder roll. And with that Rounder roll, there's a bunch of perks. First and foremost, I think that's like one of our most active communities is in the Vounder channels. The Vounders also get leaks before anybody else. The Vounders will have access to like better giveaways, as well as ability to vote on polls that help kind of steer the direction of the community. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of perks of being a Vounder. What else we got? Hey, Friday, I have a question for you. You can hear me? I know Friday was like, man, he was between like a couple flights, a couple conferences, a couple meetings. All right, he might not be there. And then he just left. I scared him away. Let's see. Bonus probably stickers. So we need a Skelly for weapon drop. Are there melee weapons? Yeah, so that I personally haven't seen like some of the deeper detail in that project, so I don't want to like mislead you, but I know it's called shooter mode. So I know for a fact like the vision is shooter mode, and I know some of the initial ideas that were floating around were like, you know, for Skelly, maybe he has a weapon that's you know, guitar themed, something along those lines.
Yeah, no melee weapons for at least the first version of shooter mode, or you know, combat in general. But I know we actually have designs for melee weapons for in the future, and they seem pretty easy to do because you know you don't need to track projectiles or anything. So definitely could look forward to that.
Wait. With those weapons, can we make them so they're like slightly magnetized to be drawn to mouse?
Depends how much you want to bribe our engineers.
I can, yeah.
Do they like a GoFundMe to do it?
Do they take Skellies?
I'd say they would.
All All right. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions in here that I missed. If I missed your question, go ahead and re-type it or like link me to it. And then actually, let me write that one down. So Mouse's question was snapshot for weapon drop. Was that at meant secondary? Yeah, so I'll get that answered and get back to you. Okay. I see a couple more people typing, so I can hang out here. Damn it, dude. Every single time I look at your name, I'm like, I have to pause. Elogiba.
I'm just not going to tell you ever again. No worries.
It's fine, man. It's not.
Yeah, it's a lot better listening to you struggle. So just keep doing it.
Just yeah.
I was thinking, you guys want the deck as like a PDF or something?
I don't know.
For people who missed it, or
yeah, that would be super useful if you could put it like somewhere that I could share with some of my followers and stuff, and people that I'm trying to, help on board.
Cool. Yeah, I can drop that. I might have to take out the trees because that's just proprietary information. But I'll leave the profile pictures.
Something that's publicly releasable, and then for sure.
Cool.
Sweet. All right. Let's see. Do we bring beers to the Mint Fest? I personally am probably going to celebrate with a brewski. Yes. But it'll likely be post business hours. So 5:30, 6 o'clock PST. If you want to have a little brewski with the
Quick question: do you know if there are any other like major IMX events that are going to be happening at the same time? Because I know that like obviously so many projects are doing so many things right now, and a lot of people have the concern that, hey, if I'm going to be hanging out with you guys all day, am I going to be missing stuff? So I kind of did my own research into what the answer to that is, but I was wondering if you guys knew.
No, the only event that I have set up right now with IMX tomorrow is I'm co-hosting a AMA with Cyber Gals. And then yeah, I think that they might be doing something else not related to Vi Worlds tomorrow. But that's about as far as I know.
Yeah, so basically, I kind of did some research in when the events are scheduled to be for like all the other IMX stuff, and it looks like around that time tomorrow, it should be clear. Like you're not going to be missing anything if you come hang out with us to like celebrate. So just
Sweet. Sweet.
A lot of people right now, with how rapidly things are changing and how quickly things are coming to like playable and things of that nature, the FOMO is real out there, and people are not realizing that like we're still at a very infant stage, yet a lot of these things will happen rapidly once they go into motion. So like there's no need to rush or fear that you're going to miss out, and just make sure you pay attention and understand what it is you're doing when you go to make purchases and things like that.
Yeah. Good call out. All right. So I guess for tomorrow, just a couple of things I had kicking around my head. Feel free to give me any other ideas that you guys may have too. But I was thinking hanging out with the community, doing Let's Plays, like allowing people to show off their kick-ass Skellys. I was I don't know how we would actually do it, but like, how we got like pose for pictures and stuff inside the game. Like if we could somehow get a bunch of footage, like maybe I could hack it into like a really, really terrible rock video. We might struggle and try and do something fun like that tomorrow. And then, yeah, I think we might have a couple more giveaways and stuff. But I think taking a breather and just hanging out with the community and seeing what everybody got out of their Skelly mint. Cool. All right. Any last questions before we go and wrap this thing up? Talking about naked Skellies quite a bit. Faxmark, he seems somewhat fixated on the topic. All right, what's the question? So I'm just wondering if having no shirt, hoodie, more likely. No autopilot. Yeah. Elojba.
Close. I'm trying to think. Let's see. What was hoodies at? Hoodies outfit. So 24% are hoodies. About 10% have shirts. 12%
I mean in comparison to not having any clothing, because I saw a bunch of Skellies that have no clothing at all. Like, it's having no clothing more likely than having clothing.
Is having more clothing. Looks like it's almost even, right? It's like 46% have some sort of outfit on. So there's lots of naked Vi running around.
Oh, I had a question for you, Elojba.
Yeah.
I'm gonna intentionally pronounce it wrong, but differently each time.
I like.
So with the juvenile Skelly, it's still the same size avatar as like everybody else, right? It just has a youthful looking face.
Yeah. All the avatars are the same size.
Okay. All right. Cool. Oh, Gandalf is saying he's gonna confess. How many will each one mint? I think it's confession time. How many will each? I'm not telling you my secret. I'm not telling you my secrets.
You have a max of 99. Should you want to go above that, please let no autopilot know.
Don't forget to tip your dealers. Tip your dealers, everyone. Tip your dealers.
Are you getting cutbacks over here? Kickbacks, I mean?
Cutbacks and kickbacks. Yeah, I got it both ways.
It's coming around both ends.
Good stuff. Oh, I know one thing that might be cool. So just a heads up. So I think tomorrow, from a community standpoint, like, we're gonna have some really, really cool videos, pictures of us playing. You're gonna have your Skellies. Like, I'd love to see us be super active on social. You could go ahead and tag me with your favorite stuff. I'll retweet folks. We could tag or like raid projects that we think are really cool, or influencers that we think are really cool. Like, I think it'd be really neat to take some time tomorrow as a community and kind of get that out there. But everyone's saying they love that idea. Maybe like FV NFT. I don't know what that is, but yes, exactly like FV NFT, 100%. Go. Hey, do you guys want to see how long we can make this call? Elojba doesn't need to go eat dinner. He's cool. He'll hang out.
Yeah, I'm just working on stuff in the background.
All right. The dots have been connected. Yes, the dots have been. Possibly, dog. Possibly. All right, guys. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I know this is going long. I did record this video. I will get it up on the YouTube page today, so anybody who missed it can go ahead and they can watch it. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for being a part of the community. Thank you for helping us every step of the way. And we will see you tomorrow for Mint Day. Let's go.
See you guys. Thanks for coming.
Peace. Bye.